So here are the major pledges Mamdani made on the campaign trail. He's promised to immediately freeze rent for all stabilised apartments. Those are the units where rent increases are regulated by local law. Mamdani's also promised to enable people to travel free of charge on city buses. He says 1 in 5 New Yorkers struggle to afford the cost of commuting. He's promised to create a network of city-owned grocery stores focused on keeping prices low. And Mamdani says he'll implement free universal healthcare for every New Yorker until the age of 5. John Zogby, who's a public opinion pollster and is also a senior partner at John Zogby Strategies. He joins us from Utica in New York State. Many thanks for joining us, John. Is it possible to say in a few sentences, why did Mamdani win?
Because he addressed bread and butter issues that New Yorkers truly cared about. Democratic Party had been seen moving away from the middle class. And that means not just the white middle class, but even Hispanic and black middle class, moving away from the young voters that were so vital to the Obama coalition by emphasizing culture war issues when folks really wanted to talk about affordability. And that was the keynote, that he talked about affordability, and he stuck with it. He never went off message. There were many attempts during the campaign to knock him off message, to get him involved in international affairs, to portray him as anti-Israel or whatever. But in the final analysis, he was able to put together a winning coalition on the issues that really mattered to New Yorkers.
And perhaps also to frame the entire election through the lens of identity politics as well. I mean, was he able to achieve what he achieved because he's Mamdani? When I say that, I mean the whole package. Or because of his political vision for New York City? Could a person from another background, a different generation, a different life story have done something like this with similar ideas?
I think probably, but I think, as you point out, that it was two stories in one. On one hand, it was indeed, he represents the changing demographics of New York City, changing demographics of this nation, that it is acceptable for someone with a Muslim background, a different ethnicity, someone who's young, someone who is not a part of the establishment. I think that all played on his behalf.
John, you say it's acceptable. Do you think it's irrelevant?
Not yet. Not yet, because we did see the establishment come down very hard on him, and we saw, there were attempts to really seriously derail him, both as a politician, but also as a person. And I think that didn't work. He was able to transcend it. And my second point is his vision and his unique ability to articulate a vision, much the same way that a very young Barack Obama did 17 years ago.
He makes some interesting points, John. I mean, there's a lot said about him, but what's the most misunderstood thing about Zohran Mamdani? He's been called a communist, a socialist, a terrorist sympathizer. He's African, he's South Asian, he's a Muslim. There's a real attempt to define him depending on whether you think those traits are a good thing or a bad thing. So how do you think he's been able to cut through the noise here?
By winning elections. And I think what was very significant last night is that he got over 50%. And really no one was predicting that. They thought, he'd top off at 45 or 46%. There is a world of difference between 45 and 46% and 50.3%. He can go around the city. He can go to establishment figures. He can build bridges with the police and with the city council in Albany, with the governor and legislature, by saying, I got a majority in New York City. That's a very potent message for him.
And also able to build bridges with people from completely different communities as well, with the Jewish New Yorkers, with people of faiths and no faiths at all. I wonder if this is something particular to New York itself, or whether a similar kind of strategy might be able to be scaled up by other leading politicians in other parts of the country.
Oh, you can go to Des Moines, Iowa, Omaha, Nebraska, where I live, Utica, New York. God, in Utica, New York, where I am, 47 languages are spoken in the school district. 1/3 of our city are refugees from all over the world, hotspots. Really, the demographics of this country are changing. New York, of course, is is the capital of us all. But the very fact that he won in New York, facing really extreme odds and extreme hostility, and he still got a majority of the vote, this is something to be emulated. His playbook is going to be studied.
Well, it's been absolutely fascinating talking to you, John. John Zogby there is a public opinion pollster and senior partner at John Zogby Strategies.
Don't miss out. Get a full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news, expert insight. Like, share, stay ahead.